Welcome back to another episode. Found something out very interesting yesterday. So I titled the talk today, So I Married a Superhero. Now, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that so much until the discussion between myself and my kids after going to Super Smash Con this weekend started to bubble to the surface a little bit. So I had a question before, are you a celebrity or are you a superhero? And so if you're not familiar with that or how that essentially works, you might want to look at some of the previous content that has been put out about that. But today, So I Married a Superhero is very, very close to my heart. Obviously, my wife is close to my heart. And the reason I had to talk about it a little bit today is because in doing a study of celebrity versus superhero, celebrities are themselves in pretty much every environment. So they work to be, let's say, one person all times, right? But what a superhero does is they essentially change with the environment. And so I never had an appreciation for that because I myself am a celebrity. Talked with my kids, looked at their answers. They're also celebrities, but my wife is a superhero. Now, the thing that's interesting about it is that if you look in society today, most people want to be superheroes, but they don't understand and recognize what the cost is. And there is a cost. Now, there's a trade-off in either or. Celebrity, again, being the same person all the time, you get challenged of if you're going to stay that same person or if it's going to get compromised. But with a superheroes, I understood before as far as they are pieces of themselves. They're not the same in every environment. And as a result, where do you see that true person? Where do they actually exist? And usually it's at the intersection, right? So if you consider, let's say, a person and the various pieces, when all those pieces actually come together, or the intersection where those pieces come together, that's where you actually find, let's say, that true self. But the way they exist in essentially shards. And so depending on the environment at the end, they may be a different piece of themselves. Now, what's interesting about it is my wife is a very, very interesting case study. Why? Because she is the unassuming superhero. She doesn't come out and wear a cape or anything like that. But she's someone that is kind of behind the scenes and makes everything just work. And there's something selfless about that, right? I never really kind of got it before, but she's an excellent case study because she has a number of different aliases, a number of different references. People know her differently based on the environment they actually interact with her in. And as a result, it makes, I guess, the interaction with her very, I'm not even sure the best word for it. I'm still searching for that stuff. But in any case, I wore my Marvel shirt today because, well, the theme actually fits. And I'm going to be putting out some more content about some of the various pieces. But the thing that's interesting about this talk and this superhero is most likely you will not get the story of who the superhero is from the superhero themselves. Because the whole unassuming part means you don't even know who they are. So seeing a superhero and never even knowing it is essentially me and my wife. So obviously you don't see her here today. You hear me talking about her. But what you'll most likely hear over as this campaign goes on are little mini interviews with the folks that actually know her well and how they describe her. And that's probably the best way to understand how this superhero actually functions and how they work. Because otherwise you talk to them and it's like they would never even say it themselves. No, I'm not a superhero. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that's the same flinch my wife would get. What are you talking about? I'm not a superhero. Whatever, right? So sometimes you actually have to observe individuals in their natural elements to actually see, is that a superhero or not? And odds are, if you're really good at something, it's like I do this every day. I don't even know what you're talking about. So more to come, more in store on that, but definitely married a superhero. And that explains a lot, right? So I'm going to answer questions. If you have questions, definitely let me know. But this is definitely the topic of the day because, man, it's interesting. And there's more. I'm just at the surface. There's more to it. So more to come, but appreciate you tuning in. And, well, are you a celebrity or superhero? And sometimes you might actually have to ask the folks within your environment to determine that for you. All right. But, again, you always have the ultimate decision, so it is what it is. All right, so until next time, bye.